The New York Giants have a chance to tie last season's 6-win total on Monday Night Football, November 14th, as they host the Cincinnati Bengals in Week 10 NFL action. The Giants will have to topple the Bengals, who are coming off a bye week. The Giants don't seem to be getting a whole lot of respect at the betting window, as home field advantage on Monday Night Football is generally worth a full 3 points. The Giants aren't even getting that for this matchup. The Cincinnati Bengals are 3-4-1 on the season after tying the Washington Redskins in London 2 weeks ago. The Bengals are just 2-5-1 against the spread on the year, and they have not won consecutive games in either category this season. Things did seem to be turning around a little bit heading into the bye week, as the Bengals had scored 25 points per game over their last 3 games. That was a big upgrade from the start of the season. The Bengals' A.J. Green gets all the headlines, and he deserves them. But it's Tyler Eifert that makes this offense tick. Eifert had 9 catches for 102 yards and a touchdown in the London game against Washington. And that was the best Cincinnati has looked on offense all season. Andy Dalton needs that second weapon, and now he's got it. Dalton has completed 67% of his throws for 275 yards per game with a 9-3 touchdown-interception ratio. A.J. Green has gotten the Bengals down the field, but getting into the red zone has been a different story. Only 4 teams have had fewer touchdown passes than the Bengals. Jeremy Hill has managed 5 yards per carry on his 104 tries, but change of pace back Gio Bernard hasn't held up his end of the bargain with only 3.9 yards per pop. The Bengals defense has played worse than it appears. They've allowed 5.9 yards per play, and they're 13th worst in yards allowed and 15th worst in points allowed. Playing at a slow pace offensively has helped. The Bengals have allowed a 64.5% completion rate against, which is worse than teams like Cleveland and San Diego. Cincinnati has allowed 12 yards per pass, which is 8th highest in the NFL. Perhaps years of coordinator turnover have finally had their effect on the Bengals, who have lost Hugh Jackson, Jay Gruden, and Mike Zimmer over the last few seasons. The New York Giants are 5-3 on the year and have now won 3 straight up and against the spread. The Giants also played in London recently, topping the Rams 17-10. They came out of the bye week and beat the Eagles 28-23 last weekend. New York is now 4-4 against the number this year. The Giants have not been able to run the ball at all this season, averaging just 3.2 yards per carry on 171 tries. First-year head coach Ben McAdoo was elevated from offensive coordinator to head coach, and the Giants' offense has been uninspiring more often than not. There are a lot of weapons in the passing game, and they're just getting going. Eli Manning has completed 64.4% of his throws, with a 12-8 touchdown interception ratio, but he's thrown 8 of those 12 touchdown passes over the last 4 games. Odell Beckham Jr. has 44 catches on 80 targets for 676 yards and 5 touchdowns. Manning has also spread it around to Sterling Shepard and Victor Cruz this season. But the real story for the Giants has been on defense. They have been tremendous. Opposing quarterbacks have only completed 59.3% of their passes. The Giants are only allowing 3.6 yards per carry. Considering some of the tough spots that the defense has been put into because of turnovers, the fact that the Giants have held opponents to just 20.5 points per game is really impressive. The Giants are 26th in opponents' starting field position, but 12th in opponents' points per drive. They only have 9 takeaways, and only one of those is a fumble recovery, so fumble luck has not been kind to this defense. You cannot handicap turnovers, but it's more than coincidence that the Giants have turned it over 16 times and the Bengals have turned it over 8 times. At some point, those turnovers and the lack thereof on defense have to come back to hurt the Giants. The Bengals have had extra time to prepare for this game, and Tyler Eifert really changes the offensive dynamics for the Bengals. It feels like you can see this letdown or this balloon popping for the New York Giants. Our pick and prediction is the Cincinnati Bengals at +1. For our pick and prediction on this game and every other game this week, and a wealth of free stats and information, check out bangthebook.com.